The movie kicks off with a good-looking guy named Sun, who became famous as a YouTuber. But Sun had a unique ability. He could hear what others were thinking. When he faced a big crowd, their thoughts overwhelmed him, causing terrible headaches. So Sun would often scream and escape to quiet places to avoid the mental noise. Because of this, people started calling him the Arrogance. Just the other day, Sun and his best buddy and cameraman Pete were chilling by a dam. They were making plans to visit a nearby village. Pete, being Sun's close friend, knew all about Sun's special power. To make things easier for Sun, Pete set up social media pages like Facebook and YouTube for him. This way, Sun could connect with his fans without meeting them in person. But as Sun got more popular and gained lots of fans and subscribers, he lost interest in making new videos. This change in his attitude made Pete sad because he cared about Sun. Even though Pete never said it out loud, he could tell what Sun was feeling by reading his unspoken thoughts. As Sun and Pete were heading to the village, their car suddenly stopped when they met a friendly, chubby guy named Tub-Tab. Tub-Tab asked for a ride to the same village. But Sun heard Tub-Tab's thoughts, calling him an arrogant YouTuber. Then a gorgeous woman named Anna appeared next to Tub-Tab, and she was shocked to see Sun, a famous YouTuber, in such a remote place. At first, she admired Sun's good looks, but she soon got annoyed because she found him unfriendly and bothersome. Sun decided to ignore their request for a ride and drove off, leaving Tub-Tab and Anna behind. When they finally reached the village they wanted to go to, Sun and Pete rushed to their best friend Kuen's house. This village was Kuen's hometown, and Sun wanted to make content there. Shortly after they arrived, a woman screamed in surprise when she saw Sun in this quiet village. It turned out to be Brownie, Kuen's college junior, who was doing research for her schoolwork in the village. Brownie was a big fan of Sun, and that's why she was so excited to see him right there. Soon after, Anna and Tub-Tab arrived on a motorbike cart, lent to them by a kind villager who gave them a lift. Although they didn't say a word to each other, Sun and Anna exchanged skeptical looks, clearly showing they weren't happy with each other's company. Sun and Pete had a chat with Kuen about their plans for making content in the village. Sun wanted Kuen to be the host of the show and insisted on having only 5 people for the filming. Later that evening, Sun, Pete, and Kuen met up with Tub-Tab and Anna. Tub-Tab, like Kuen, was a local from the village and worked as Anna's manager while she pursued her career as a writer. Seeing Sun's arrogance, Anna tried to give him some advice about being more humble, especially with his fans. She pointed out how important it was for both YouTubers like Sun and writers like her to have the support of their fans. But Sun responded to Anna's advice with sarcasm and told her not to meddle in his business. The next day, Sun and the gang started filming, capturing the villagers' daily activities. Sun got annoyed when he saw more than 5 people, which was against his request. Pete made things worse by suggesting that Sun join in. Reluctantly, Sun stepped up, feeling really nervous and getting a pounding headache from all the thoughts swirling around. Frustrated, he screamed and rushed away from the scene. Anna, worried about Sun, saw how distressed he was and decided to go after him. When they were alone in a quiet place, Sun noticed something strange about Anna. He couldn't hear her thoughts at all. This surprised Sun, and he blurted out that it seemed like Anna had no thoughts at all. That made Anna really angry because Sun couldn't read her mind, and it was the first time he couldn't figure someone out. Still puzzled by Sun's behavior, Anna reached out and briefly held his hand, looking concerned. She didn't say a word and quickly walked away from him. Later in the evening, Sun borrowed Kuen's bicycle, planning to take a ride. But just outside Kuen's place, he met 2 young guys who asked for a lighter. Sun got serious when he heard their thoughts talking about a planned robbery in the village the next night. The next morning, Sun told Kuen and Pete about the planned robbery he found out about. The 3 of them started patrolling the village entrance, trying to spot any suspicious motorbike riders who might be the culprits. But they didn't have any luck and couldn't find any sign of the potential troublemakers. Meanwhile, Tub-Tab and Anna watched Sun and his pals from afar, keeping an eye on what they were doing. After a while, 2 young guys on motorcycles came up to Anna and Tub-Tab, who were relaxing under a tree. One of the guys tried to impress Anna by asking for her phone number, but Anna said no, which made the 2 guys mad. They confronted Anna and Tub-Tab as they were about to leave. They got aggressive, and it looked like they were going to attack Anna, but Tub-Tab stepped in and quickly took down one of them. Not too far away, Sun and Kuen were walking toward the scene coming to help. But they were slow, and Tub-Tab had already handled the situation with Anna's help. Sun told Kuen that these were the same troublemakers he saw the night before, planning to rob the village. Kwan scared the guys away and warned them that he'd call the police if they ever came back. After that, Anna went up to Sun, who was cycling alone, and thanked him for helping get rid of the troublemakers in the village. Unfortunately, Anna lost her balance and fell off her bike, but Sun rushed over to help her, making her think he was actually a good-hearted person. A bit later, Pete and Brownie caught up with Sun. Brownie didn't seem too happy about Anna and Sun getting close, so she asked Anna if she had feelings for Sun. Anna quickly said no, which seemed to make Brownie feel better. Later that evening, Anna suddenly got inspired for her story, and Tub couldn't wait to hear her ideas. But Anna asked him to be patient until she finished writing the story. The next day, Tub and Brownie got into an argument while filming. Some scolded Brownie for screaming, even though it was just in her thoughts, which surprised Anna and the others. Sun scolded Tub and Brownie again for their silent argument, and he decided it was best for Kwan to take them away so they wouldn't disrupt the filming. After they finished filming, Anna asked Sun about becoming a YouTuber, but Sun refused to help and told her to look for information online. Anna then invited Sun to be friends, but he said no. Pete, who was watching their interaction, couldn't help but laugh. Anna kept following Sun until he felt embarrassed and wanted to get away. But then, Sun found himself in a situation where he saw a woman fall off her bike. She couldn't call for help because she was mute, but Sun could hear her thoughts from a distance and rushed to help. Anna wondered if Sun knew sign language. With all the strange things about Sun, Anna thought he might be hiding something from everyone. Curious and determined to uncover Sun's secrets, Anna asked Hubtab to help her learn more about Sun. She was convinced that Sun had hidden truths, and she wanted to write a story about the arrogant YouTuber. Meanwhile, back at Kwan's place, Pete and Brownie were having an argument. Kwan, watching them argue, mistakenly thought that they might end up becoming a couple. Before going to bed, Pete said a prayer, hoping that the videos they make would get lots of likes and views, so they could earn money. The next day, Pete told Kwan about Sun not being able to hear Anna's thoughts, which they found very strange. When they uploaded Sun's latest video on YouTube, there were a lot of comments from subscribers. Sadly, Pete and Sun saw a bunch of negative comments calling Sun arrogant. Brownie saw one really mean comment and dared the person, an anti-fan named Kai, to come to the village and confront Sun face to face. Kai was excited to take on the challenge and hoped to show Sun's flaws to the public. The next day, the anti-fan who was challenged Kai shows up in the village. His goal is to watch Sun closely and expose his flaws for everyone to see. Kai used to be a big fan of Sun, but 2 years ago, Sun insulted him and threw away a gift Kai gave him. Since then, Kai started hating Sun a lot and became an anti-fan who always writes mean things on Sun's social media pages. Kai being nearby really bothers Sun because he can constantly hear Kai thinking negative thoughts about him, which makes it hard for Sun to concentrate on filming. Feeling sorry, Brownie tries to say sorry to Sun for causing trouble by challenging Kai to come. But Sun gets mad at Brownie and she starts crying, begging him to go away. Little did they know, Kai is recording Sun being rude, planning to show it to his own fans as proof of Sun's arrogance, hoping to make others not like Sun anymore. Seeing what's happening, Anna doesn't want to stay quiet anymore. She goes up to Kai and tells him why Sun did what he did. Anna explains that Sun insulted Kai and pushed him away because he was getting too obsessed with Sun. Kai's obsession was affecting his schoolwork, and his parents even asked Sun to help Kai focus on studying. Sun knew this would make Kai hate him, but he did it to protect Kai's future and follow his parents' wishes. Anna grabs Kai's hand and warns him that being an anti-fan will hurt the people who truly care about him. Later, Anna goes to find Sun and talks to him about knowing his special powers. She tells Sun how frustrated she is with him always acting superior to others. Sun is surprised to hear this and asks Anna how she found out about his powers. But at that moment, he hears someone's thoughts from far away and urgently tells Anna to stop the car because they're in the middle of the road. Anna nags Sun to provide assistance, leading him to grab her just in time to prevent several motorcyclists from colliding with her at high speed. Sun gets a few scratches, but Anna is safe, which is a big relief. Anna suggests that Sun should use his powers to help others. She also mentions knowing someone who can see a person's past just by touching them, which makes her afraid to get close to people. Kai, after learning the truth, approaches Sun and sincerely apologizes. Curious about how Anna found out about this, Sun tries to talk to her to uncover the truth about the woman, but he can't hear Anna's thoughts. In a playful way, Sun teases Anna by getting closer to her, making her feel embarrassed and her heart race. But eventually, Sun realizes that Anna was trying to get close to him because she wanted to write a story about him. This makes Sun sad and disappointed because he thought Anna was different from those who only wanted to use him for their own gain. He also gets frustrated because he can't hear Anna's thoughts and feels like she deceived him. 2 months later, Sun and Pete are in a different village working on their new content. Sun and Anna don't have any contact anymore, but Sun seems restless during their time there. Pete tells Sun to follow his heart and be honest about his feelings for Anna. However, Sun insists that he only needs Pete as a friend who will always be there for him. One day, Pete tried to tell Sun to be nicer to people, even to fans like Brownie. But Sun didn't listen and even told Pete to leave when he got tired of his company. Pete got upset and decided to leave for real. Sun went back to camp and saw Pete on a video call with Kwan, talking about him. It made Sun remember what Kwan had said, that Pete would never abandon him because he cared a lot. Sun realized his mistake, apologized to Pete, and they made up, fixing their friendship. That evening, Anna and Brownie came to Sun to say sorry. Anna tried to explain things, but Sun acted cold and arrogant. Later, during an incident in the forest that Pete, Anna, and Brownie planned, Sun realized how much Anna meant to him. He worried about her when she was alone, and they made up, becoming closer. Sun also forgave Brownie and started to see her as a real friend, not just a fan. Just like Kwan had predicted, Pete and Brownie's relationship got stronger, and they eventually became a couple. Sun then told Anna about her unique ability to sense someone's past by touching them, but Anna denied having such a power. She suggested that if she did, she wouldn't need to go through the effort of learning everything about Sun. However, some thought that Anna had gone through similar experiences because they both had special abilities. As they grew closer, Sun expressed his feelings for Anna and wanted her to be his girlfriend, but she turned him down and acted arrogantly in return, mirroring Sun's earlier attitude towards her. Despite this, Sun remained hopeful that one day Anna would agree to be his girlfriend, and he promised to keep trying to win her heart. The moral lesson from this story is, you can't use mind reading to make someone your girlfriend. To win their heart, just be patient and kind.